the dumb things he's built, this is a dumb one, but I love it.
This thing is awesome.
I know, I love it. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I put a diesel in this thing.
Smells like the inside of Yorktown.
Everybody got it?
I think this thing's a handful.
How's it going?
On this episode of Finnegan's Garage, we are playing with my 1968 Dodge Charger that I call Death Metal. Yes, it has a 2JZ under the hood. It has the very worst water pipe roll cage you've ever seen. And me and my kid are taking it to a car show to find out, do people love or hate the 2J?
This was probably 30 or 40 pounds just by itself.
Dude. You're right though, the floors of the car really aren't that bad.
Yeah.
Still has the original steering wheel, but I've thrown away like a lot of this car that made it deadly. The entire front suspension has been replaced with parts from QA1 because the farmer had made a front end work using C-body torsion bars and control arms to widen the track. And it just was no good for driving around the street. It was great at turning left, but it didn't do anything else great. It had Ford F-250 drum brakes off of a dually, which is how he converted it to 8-lug. It had a Timken full floating rear end out of like a Willys, like a 1949 Willys. The Timken rear end is gone because I couldn't rebuild it. You couldn't get a spool for it. You couldn't even re-gear it, and it had like 488s. So we now have a quick performance 9-inch that is patinaed to match. Basically, I just got lazy and didn't paint it. But what's unique about this rear end, obviously it's a 9-inch, it's really wide, it has a back brace, it has a 373 with a limited slip, but it has 2 sets of brake calipers for drifting. And there's the drift handle right there. The big mod, I guess, at this point is the Motec ECU and AEM dash, which are controlling, dun dun dun, the Junkyard Turbo 2JZ. And yes, this is a $500 long block. This is the least desirable of all 2JZ motors. This is a GE motor. It was never turboed. So J-Mar, Kevin Smith, Tony Angelo, and I did the swap at Kevin Smith's shop, KSR, down in Gainesville, Florida. And we put a turbo head gasket in it, camshafts from Brian Crowder, valve springs. That is a eBay aluminum intake. We've got some race parts solution goodies on here to connect to the hot side and the cold side. Aftermarket aluminum radiator, air-to-air intercooler. This thing put, I think, 515 to the tires, but it was pinging just a little bit, so we backed it down, and I think Jay tuned it to 430 at the tire. And it takes a little while to spool, but when it does, hold on. And the other thing I like about this car, which is ultimately backfiring on me are the wheels. These are the same 8-lug Firestone steel wheels that were on the car when I got it, that have been on the car since, well, 50 years ago. And the downside of these things is they're really not round, and there's no safety bead on the inside of the wheel. So if you run a tire real low and you go around the corner, the tire could come off the bead, which sucks. And it's got kind of a death wobble at certain speeds because the wheels aren't round and the tires probably aren't round either. But I love this car. It's so much fun. And someday I will replace the water pipe roll cage. And when I do that, I'll channel the body of the car downward to make it lower. Can't really lower it too much anymore out of the front end because that QA1 front end is out of shock travel. So you'd have to butcher the shock mounts to lower it more. That front end is awesome. It converts the front end of this car from torsion bars to coilovers, and it works much better than the parts that were in the car. But this car was much lower earlier, and it's not as low now. We still have the Farmer Joe Barry Special foot-long shackles flipped up into the trunk with the leaf springs to lower the back of the car. There's a lot of adjustments still there. And that is our fuel cell, obviously, and our battery. And this is our car. This thing is amazing. I love it. My wife hates this car, like legit hates this car. This is, let me turn the camera around here so you can see my face as I tell this story. So in the history of my marriage to my wife, there's only been 2 times where she's been like, I don't like that, get rid of it. And the first one was the 6-door Ford F650 diesel. She did not like that truck. She thought I was overcompensating for something. She thought it smelled like diesel, and it did because the exhaust fell apart. She thought a lot of negative things about that truck. And against my better judgment, I got rid of it. My friend Sean has it now. And this car, I think she would like the same fate to happen. But lucky for her, Sean has no interest in this. And I have no interest in getting rid of it. I gotta be honest. This is the kind of car you go to the grocery store and park right up front between 2 full-size trucks and don't worry about the door dings, because it don't matter. There is not a straight body panel anywhere on this automobile. There probably never will be. Let's be real. Anyway, that's my car. I'm gonna fix up the exhaust so my kid can ride in it without suffocating, and then we're gonna go find out what happens when people see a 68 Dodge Charger that's a little beat up and has a 2J under the hood. A lot of people think that death metal and its real strong suit is, being classy and going places and, just looking cool. But really, its wheelhouse is parts hauling. It's as good as any pickup I own in that department. Look at that. That's one. There's another one under there. Yeah. That's right. It hauled 2 headers for me, not just one. Uno. And dos. Not every 68 Charger can do what I just did, because they have windows and upholstery that you probably care about. Mine, not so much. I believe these headers are too small for Blasphemy's giant old Hemi, and I want to test these against some larger ones. So I'm going to send these to Stainless Headers. They're going to build a larger set. These are 2 1/8 going into 2 1/4, and then ending in a 3.5 inch collector, and I think it's way too small. So we're gonna go 2 1/4, 2 3/8 stepped into a 4 inch collector, bolt them on, and see if they make more power. Not in this video, another video. Right now, all I'm doing is churching up my exhaust for a road trip with my son, and maybe cleaning all the schmagma off the windshield. Yeah, we'll do that too. So the problem with this is all of this unburnt fuel and exhaust. Lands on the windshield, no big deal. But it goes right through the passenger side where there should be a window and there's not because death metal charger. And you know, the exhaust is offset to the side of the car. Driver's side, totally fine. But whoever's riding shotgun in this thing is pretty much suffocating and getting covered in filth. So I'm gonna make something here real quick that doesn't disturb this because I like this. But for those longer trips, when you want to get there clean, I'm gonna make something that attaches to this to direct the exhaust a little higher. And then my son and I, we're gonna go to a car show. In death metal, yeah. So this right here is one of the bullhorns off Blasphemy. May or may not be using it again, I'm not sure. But I'm thinking that if I were to slice this 3.5-inch tube and notch it to the flapper, that this 3.5-inch tube might slide over this 3.5-inch tube. And then a quick hose clamp around here gives me kind of a snorkel to duct the exhaust upwards during those trips. And then when I get somewhere, you know, like a racetrack or a car cruise, you just take it off and then we're back to tractor flapper status, which is nice. The other thing I could try to do is take this 4-inch diameter pipe, put it over here. This is a reject off of the Game Over exhaust from a long time ago. I don't really have a use for it right now, but I could just notch this and then it would easily slide over. Maybe that's what I'll do is I'll measure the width of this, cut a notch out of here, slide this thing over and then clamp it. Because even though that's not as tall, it's gonna do something. Yeah, let me get some calipers. These are dial calipers. And I'm going to use these to measure the width of this bracket. And these are a really old, crappy set that are great for measuring dirty things or, you know, if you're going to bang into some stuff. This is the set I use. All right. And according to ye old dial calipers, that bracket is almost 1 inch 300 thousandths wide. It's about 1 inch 295 thousandths wide. So that's how wide of a notch I need to put in this bad boy so it'll slide over. Let's go do that, shall we? You know, the other thing I want to do, tomorrow we're going to go to a local car cruise called Caffeine and Octane. And I think I'm going to stick this GoPro under the hood of my car. And I'm just going to let it run there live and leave the hood open all day, you know, or as long as the show is, and just get people's reactions when they walk past the world's crappiest 68 Dodge Charger and then they happen to look under the hood and find a turbo Toyota 2JZ motor under there. I want to see how many people get angry, how many people shake their heads, and how many people that are like, oh yeah, I see you, Mike Finnegan. I see what you're doing. We want the exhaust to go that way, so we will use this side of it. You can already kind of see the center line of the tubing. If you ever want to find the exact center of a round piece of tubing, all you got to do is hold it on something dirty like that. Move it around and scratch it, and it'll show you the very edge, you know, of the crown. So there's our center line. And we are going to be going from here to here. Boom. That's where I need to notch it. This is stainless steel tubing. It is about 80 thousandths of an inch thick. A lot of different ways you can cut this. I'm going to use what I call a death wheel. This is a Metabo cutting disc. Call it a death wheel because if this cracks or flexes, it can shatter and the pieces can very easily just go right in your throat, cut your carotid artery, you bleed all over the floor. Nobody's here to even know it. It's too late, it's over with. So, do as I say, not as I always do. Wear safety glasses and wear a shield if you can, you know? And yeah, over the years, you've seen me not do that. Like I said, just do as I say, not as I do. If you know the rules, you can break them, but do so at your own peril. Today, because I have easy access to this and I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna wear it. And I'm gonna wear these. Before you start, inspect the wheel. A lot of times what happens is someone will use it, make a cut, and then they'll just roughly set it down on a table, you know, and the wheel hits the table, and next thing you know, it's fractured, and the next guy that fires it up, it spins real fast, and the wheel explodes, and then again, in your neck. You don't want that. So look at it before you use it. There we go. All right, there's our cut. I'm reasonably confident that that cut's actually gonna work, so I'm just gonna go file it real quick and then acetone the marks off, because, you know, that looks like crap. We don't want to see that. Right, a little bit of acetone here. And sometimes when it gets hot, fingerprints, acetone, whatever was on the stainless will cook into it. So in that case, you just gotta go Scotch-Brite this and it'll take it right off. Let's go test fit, shall we? Boom. Oh yeah, goes right over, and then all we gotta do is tie that there, and we are dialed. Absolutely dialed. That will work, and that'll do a good job of funneling the exhaust up. This is not one of those times when you want to employ a zip tie, or at least not a plastic one, because that would end badly. No, I'm thinking a hose clamp's the way to go here, and then I just carry around a little cordless impact or a nut driver to take the hose clamp off when I get where I'm going. This one goes to the wastegate. This is, you know, this is not all the time blowing exhaust out, so not even gonna worry about that one. No big deal. That's not gonna work. How about this one? That's not gonna work. Too long. Too short. I could weld something onto this. I could put a stud on this and it went through here. That would be something. Because then it's just a little wing nut on this side. That could be something. Ah, or I could drill and tap the stainless, just shove a bolt through it. That would be easy. Although you're not going to get very many threads through this. It's not very thick. I mean, we could put a self-tapper in it. Cheesy, crude, but effective. We need something more elegant than that. just need the right size hose clamp. That's all. Wait. Hold on. Hold the phone. Did I just solve all the world's problems? Did I? Perhaps? Oh, I might have. I don't know, not a lot of grip on that. No, I need a bigger hose clamp. Let me go shopping again. While it's true the right size hose clamp was gonna work, it means I gotta travel with tools. And to be honest, that's really not very elegant. Not that any part of this is elegant, but that is really not elegant. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a hole right here. I'm gonna put a hole right here. I'm gonna run a bolt, stainless, because stainless tubing, this way through it. That'll be double nutted. One here, so it turns it into a stud basically. The stud always stays with this. And it'll come right through here, and then just a nut on that side. And whenever, you know, if I have a wing nut, even better. Whenever I want it on, we just thread on the wing nut. And the wing nut can always stay with this, can stay in the car. And when we need it, we put it on there. And when it's raining out, you take it off and you just put that down, you know? Or when you want the full effect of the tractor flapper. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not a total savage, so I'm not just gonna sit here and drill, you know, with nothing in the pipe. I'll put something over it. These Finnegan Speed Marine shirts make great rags, you know, if you gain weight or just get oil on it, whatever. They make great rags. All right, let's put a hole in here. I'll try not to get my shirt wound up in the drill bit, but we know that's gonna happen. It's, you know, it's inevitable. See? Okay, and then, boom. And then, that right there, we'll use this as our template. There's our template. Go in the shop and drill that. And then we'll come back out and do final assembly. And any minute now, Chip Foose and Chris Jacobs, they're gonna come out of a bush and they're gonna be like, we want to overhaul you, but we want you to help, Mike. We want you to work on your car because clearly you are talented and have high standards. Boom. We're gonna start small with this drill bit because stainless. Whoa. You're kind of wobbly, aren't you? I don't know what's up with that drill bit. It is unhappy. Let's try a different one. That's better. Little lube. That drill bit is doing nothing. Lovely. Let's go even smaller. Tiny drill bit. So stainless, as it gets hot, it work hardens, and then it just gets harder and harder to drill. Oh, it's wobbly too. So there we go. Wobbly but effective. And then we'll go to our final size. Boom. All right, one of our last steps is to deburr this. This is a Milwaukee cordless die grinder. You could use this and the sanding pad to deburr that hole, but when you do that, you're probably gonna tiger stripe this thing. So we're not gonna use this. We're gonna use this. This is a hole deburring tool, and it spins around like that, and it works good. Think of it kind of like a countersink bit. Look at that, just knock the burrs right out of that. Yeah. This is made by Noga. I don't know who that is, but you can buy these anywhere. Now we need to put our stud in there. So earlier I said this was going to be a stainless bolt, which is not. I also said it would have a wing nut. Also not going to have that because I can't find one. But it's still going to work. It's still going to be effective. Look, I even put a lock washer on there. Look at that. If Tony Angelo was here right now, he would be saying, thank the Lord, because he sat shotgun a lot in this car before, choking the whole time. There we go. Ah, dude. Solid. Job well done. Let's go to the car show. Caffeine and Octane. Here we go.
That's awesome. Oh, this is the cheap charger. I feel dumb now.
Dude, it is a 2J in there.
Yeah? No, it's from an SC. It's the iron block one, non-turbo. You turbo it. That's hilarious. We got all this nastiness, and look at the front suspension. This is crazy.
The show on Netflix. Motor Trend. Yeah, the Motor Trend show. I guess it's on YouTube now.
I appreciate this fab work. It actually looks really good.
Look how rusty that turbo.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because that's
Look at that turbo, dog.
right?
Oh, that's a 2JZ motor too.
Yeah. Charger. In the El Camino.
And then GoPro sitting out there. Yeah, this thing probably just rolls coal right over the hood and right over the window.
All right.
It's like one of those demolition race games.
Yeah.
Well, now
I'm
that
so
it's
free.
here,
It might be a 1JZ.
I think it's a 2. If I'm not mistaken, it was a 2JZ they put in.
The valve cover just throws me off.
Out of all the dumb things he's built, this is a dumb one, but I love it.
This thing is awesome.
I know, I love it. Are you kidding me? I mean, you can just see all the Bondo that's been on this thing over the years. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, that fender, you can see a lot of it.
Well, what's great about this is clearly not a car worth restoring, so you might as well do something fun with it.
Exactly.
You know?
Dude, I put a diesel in this.
It's a diesel.
It is diesel. It's confirmed it's diesel. You've seen the video.
Whose car is this?
Finnegan's. Once they had the V8, the Hemi, then they moved to the JZ, and now it's back to Cummins. We're not back to it.
Smells like the inside of Yorktown.
What motor is that?
A diesel motor.
Nice.
This is Finnegan's car.
The more I look, the more questions I have.
I'm surprised they made it out of the lot. Somebody put some thought and work in this one.
Yeah, death metal charger.
You start looking at the suspension, checking out everything up under it.
QA1.
Oh yeah, somebody put some.
This is Mike Finnegan's.
Is it really? That's a cool ass car, dude.
It's a Bonder.
Is that a Cummins? Is that a Cummins turbo diesel? Yeah. I'm trying to tell if it's a diesel. I'm looking for the bigger. I don't see spark plugs anywhere. I don't either. I was looking for that too, bro.
I said diesel. My son looked at me. He was like, "It's a gas burner." I'm like, "It's not. That's a diesel."
You got a good bit of soot there.
Right,
No
yeah.
spark plugs.
I want to grab a dipstick and smell the oil. You know what I mean? I mean, dead giveaway. I'll tell you right now.
It's got to be diesel.
It's probably outdone.
This is the roadkill.
Is it?
Yeah.
You recognize it?
It looks like it.
Roadkill car. Everybody got it?
Dead ass Mad Max.
The suspension is like,
It's a 68 video.
oh,
Yeah. Right, he take this off, bro.
look.
It is recorded.
It's video.
But I'm so confused because the suspension is like super clean, and then the engine is like,
That's not a V8.
Oh, he's getting out. Yeah, I love that.
That's a straight stick.
What is this? For listening crap.
That's the intake. No, this bar. Oh, that's just. So why is there a hose going to it? Is it for PCB as well? Sketch can. That's a sketch can.
Yeah, this is out of Mad Max. And he got camera right on it. Oh, hell. Yeah, I don't doubt it. He's pretty darn good with all that. That's definitely over 400. Yeah. Yeah, that engine's way over 400, man. Hey, I just brushed up against your car. Now we gotta get a damn tech.
I think this thing's a handful.
According to my kid, this thing totally helps because when the hater pipe extension is in place, he can breathe while I drive. And once we got to the car show, Caffeine and Octane, I did take it off because the tractor flapper looks really cool. And the truth is, when you're alone and no one's in the passenger seat, it's perfect. You can totally rock this, but whew, that's warm. But when you got a passenger, do the right thing. Put the extension on, and everyone can be happy and everybody can breathe. That is warm. And it is easy to remove as long as you have gloves or a t-shirt. Let's see, we got a t-shirt in here. Yes, I got a t-shirt in here. Here we go. See, look, now she's back in full hate mode. And then this thing, this just goes in the back seat. Or where a back seat would be, if you cared about that sort of thing. All right, here's the thing. I did not make this video to embarrass anyone. That's never my goal. So you guys in the comments, be gentle. I understand why a lot of people thought there might have been a diesel engine inside of death metal. I mean, there's a lot going on in that engine compartment. And yes, the spark plug wires are a dead giveaway, except they're all black, and they're hidden amongst a bunch of rust and God knows what else. And so, you know, again, like I did this just to see what everybody thought of the car, and it ended up being a little more funny than I thought it would have been. But again, not here to make anyone feel bad. You don't know what you don't know. I mean, on any given day when I shoot roadkill with Freiburger, we will walk into a junkyard, and for the most part, I don't have a clue what I'm looking at. Those cars from the 30s and 40s and early 50s, they were not in my high school parking lot, so they were not on my radar. Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, thanks for the support, especially those of you that went to fsmgarage.com and bought the merch. I have all kinds of new stuff dropping right now, and for the rest of the summer, you're gonna love it, and I'll see you next time.